Hey guys, and welcome to another Skyrim mods video. New interesting mods are being uploaded every day and the game was released 9 freaking years ago. It's crazy, man. The Skyrim modding community is a strong one, there's no denying that. Now you may be wondering, what in Talos name are you wearing, Gim? Well, here's the first mod of the video. DX Succubus Mask and Armor by none other than the outfit god himself, Deserter X. Every time you see that DX in the title of the mod, you just know it's of the highest quality of work. This time it's no different. According to common belief, Sheogorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness, had his Dark Seducers travel to Whiterun and steal Andur's Amulet of Arche, which they placed inside the catacombs in the Hall of the Dead. Fortunately for us, one of the Dark Seducers accidentally dropped the ancient recipe of her powerful armor before returning. This recipe or book shows you all the resources needed to craft the armor, something you'll be familiar with if you've installed one of DX mods before. There's also some very nice, what you may call, illustrations here that are very interesting. After crafting the whole set of armor, which includes horns, earrings, an amulet, skirt, tail, wings, heels, as well as stuff to put on the shoulders and arms, you'll definitely be beyond satisfied once you see how aesthetically pleasing it looks. It's got a real dark, mysterious but playful vibe to it, as is to be expected of the armor used by the Daedric Prince's Dark Seducers. If you remember the last time I featured a DX outfit, you might recollect that outfit being partly made in Blender. Well, this time, DX proud to announce that this entire armor has been made in Blender from nothing. Every single mesh carefully made from scratch with hand-painted textures. Ladies and gentlemen, it just doesn't get better than this quality-wise. It looks superb up close. From the horns at the top to the heels at the bottom, it's incredibly detailed with stuff like chains, bloody daggers, and subtle jewelry. Planning on a Daedric worshipping playthrough sometime in the future? Then this might be the armor you're looking for. And yes, I know that it's not one of the most realistic armors out there, but I do believe it's immersive enough with its backstory to make it a believable part of your Skyrim game. Next, we'll take a look at a mod that affects one of the most important aspects of the look of your Skyrim. Grass. Yes, there's not much I appreciate as much as running through a beautiful field of lush, dense grass both in game and in real life. There's just something about the look and smell of it that makes me feel good inside. Here's Realistic Grass Field, a grass retexture of Tamu75's mod from Aldrim. This will cover your Skyrim landscape with different colored grass in each region. Now the density of the grass, wait, I'm not even sure if that's a word. What I'm trying to say is that you can control how dense the grass will look by editing the ini files in your game folder by adjusting the IMIN grass size. If you've got a rig that can handle it without setting your house on fire, set the value to 20 to get the most out of the mod. Naturally, I thought it'd be interesting to compare it to Verdant, which has been a part of my load order for a very long time, and it definitely looks as good, although it comes down to personal preference. The Realistic Grass Field grass definitely looks a bit thicker, which is good. I like thicker. Thicker is good, as well as shorter, with the Verdant strands of grass being more slick and tall. I really like how it covers these forests with what looks like a natural green carpet of lushness. It's quite pleasant to the eye and adds a lot to these locations. As I mentioned earlier, the color of the grass depends on the location. Outside of Whiterun, you'll see the same grass with a more orange dark color. However, there is an optional file to make all the grass green, but of course that would be highly unimmersive, and that's not what we're about here on this channel. I find it important for mods to be able to enhance the look of the game while at the same time keeping the distinct look of each region, and similar to Verdant, Realistic Grassfield manages to do that in a much appreciated way. I'm actually not quite sure on which grass mod to go with. While the dense carpet of grass from this mod is something I very much like, I've always enjoyed the variety of vegetation seen in Verdant. The mod definitely shines the most in forests, giving them a warmer, more adventurous and interesting feel to them. As SgtGimlinho Nexus puts it, this grass looks so soft that you want to roll in it. All in all, with the way it looks and pretty much the same amount of impact on performance as Verdant, it's definitely a mod that I can recommend installing if you're looking to freshen up the look of the grass in your Skyrim. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about it. Next, I want to address something that you guys pretty much ask me every single video. What's that backpack? Where'd you get it? Please share the name of it. Well guys, it's part of the Tawenja armor mod I featured a while ago. There we have it. Satisfied? Now since you seem to love backpacks so much, I've got 2 newer mods to show you. First, there's the Druid Backpack from Mihail's Armors and Clothes ported for SSE. This provides you with a functional druid themed backpack that not only looks quite interesting, but also provides you with 100 additional points to your carry weight capacity. And it does that in a very immersive way, as it's certainly looks like a backpack that contains a bunch of stuff with all these extra satchels and purses. What makes it druid themed is all that moss and stuff found in nature hanging off the bag, giving you the look of some powerful wizard of the woods, ready to bring out any form of ingredient to make all kinds of crazy concoctions. It's also worth mentioning that it's quite a big backpack, so it does look kinda funny on smaller characters. If you think all the added clutter is a bit too much, then there's also the mod El Sopa Big Backpack HD. This is a simple HD texture replacer for the backpacks in both Wet and Cold and Legacy of the Dragonborn. Similar to the backpack I normally use, it looks clean and simple with minor details to reflect the owner's adventurous part of their personality. Not only does the 4K textured leather backpack look amazing up close, but it's got the immersive inclusion of parchments and maps, as well as a bedroll on top. Also, it comes in a plethora of different colors, so you can always switch it up if you grow tired of the same backpack. There's just something to backpacks that adds a lot to the look of your character. It turns you into a true adventurer, ready to experience all intrigues and solve all mysteries in the lands of Skyrim. Unlucky Loot is the next mod we'll be taking a look at. Have you ever gone to explore some cave, finding a chest only to think twice before looting? No, right? But isn't that kinda strange? Shouldn't there be some form of hesitation when exploring these mysterious ancient tombs? With this mod installed, there certainly is, as Unlucky Loot adds consequences for looting certain types of containers and items. Let's say you see a couple burial urns and you go to loot them for some gold. Draugr ghosts might then appear and attack you for disturbing their peace. This makes sense. I mean, these Draugr wouldn't want you breaking in and looting their tombs. Is looting that Draugr mummy the right thing to do when angry spirits might retaliate? This is the type of questions you'll be asking yourself the next time you go exploring these caves. Not only are there now consequences to looting caves, but you might reconsider looting food barrels and sacks, as a bunch of rabies-carrying skeever might appear to protect their food. However, it's still possible to loot safely, as there's a 25% chance of enemies spawning. This is of course customizable in the mod configuration menu, along with how many enemies you want to spawn in at a time. Simply looting a filled soul gem now makes me terrified as fuck, as there's a chance for it to empty, summoning a Dramora, who by the way are extremely strong. So do not make the same mistake I did spawning more than one, or you'll get absolutely wrecked. There's also a possibility of getting the stench of death disease when looting humanoid corpses, giving you the air of a shameful grave robber and reducing speech by 10 until cured. All in all, the mod will make you think twice before looting things. The mod author plans to add more consequences in the future, so do make sure to check up on the mod page every once in a while to stay updated. This will definitely be a part of my load order for future playthroughs. Next up, we've got a visual overhaul to one of Skyrim's most well-known weapons. I'm of course talking about the weapon located in the city of Riften at Riftweald Manor. Yes, cause it's in here in the depths below the house you'll find the mighty sword called Chillrend. But what is so mighty about it? I mean, it pretty much looked like any other glass sword found in-game, so let's add some more chill to the rend, if you know what I mean, with the mod Chillrend visual overhaul. Not only does this change the shape of the sword to something more sleek and pointy, but it also adds 2 all-new particle effects for a more unique look. As you now draw the sword, you'll see ice crystals slowly grow on the blade as time passes to give it a real frosty effect. I just love how the crystals don't appear straight away. It's like the blade takes some time to chill up as it's drawn. In addition, there's also the newly added effect of snowflakes gently falling down to the ground. And just look at this, the flakes even trail behind the sword as you swing it. This is indeed a very simple mod, but a much appreciated one at that. I love it when the mod authors take aim to make the special weapons more unique. This definitely looks very cool. Moving on to the next mod, we've got Ebonblade War Axe SE. It's not often you see me feature single weapon mods alone, but when I do, you bet your ass there's a reason for it. John Skyrim's done a great job here. The mod adds a very nice looking one-handed war axe to the game, loosely based on the great axe of the Ebonblade from World of Warcraft. Quality wise, it's outstanding, with the wood on the handle really popping with its 4K texture as you zoom in close. The axe head's shaped in a very badass way as well, with these glowing runes that just complete the whole look. Also, it does somewhat remind me of the Leviathan axe from God of War, which is what brought my attention to it in the first place. Whether in use or just hanging off your character's belt, it looks very good, and seamlessly fits in with the whole Nordic theme of Skyrim, making it immersive. It does 15 points of base damage, and it's categorized under the Daedric smithing category at the Forge. All in all, it's a very badass looking axe made of masterful artistry, so do give it a download. Now, if you watched last week's Skyrim mods video, you might remember all those Olivier animation mods from Mofu. Well, here we go with yet another one, and boy do I enjoy this one. Here's Olivier Sprint SE. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've grown tired of the same old stale vanilla running animation, then this is definitely for you. It replaces the sprint animation with something so goddamn cool looking. It reminds me of the running animation seen in Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's got a real adventurous feel to it, and oh, when I tell you it really feels good in use, trust me on that. Traversing longer distances on foot's never been more pleasant. Not only does it affect the normal sprint animation, but also the ones where you're carrying a weapon. Like the one-handed sprint animation's been redone, the double sword animation looks very badass as well now, and of course the mod also replaces the two-handed sword sprint animation, as well as the great axe and warhammer animation. All of them are very similar, but the mod author's done a great job at making the base running animation fit with all the weapons, like in the way your character will be carrying their axes and warhammers on their shoulder, or the bow with a nice double-handed grip. Lastly, it also affects the magicka wielding sprint animation with something that looks like you're about to hit your opponent with a Naruto Rasengan. Traversing the landscape of Skyrim and charging into combat has never felt this good. Once again, Mofu's done an amazing job. Now guys, it's time for the last mod of the video, and what a mod it is! With a very interesting immersive short story that rewards you with a special player home, we've got the tale of Tsatampra Xiros. Explore a world contained within the pages of a sorcerer's text, and earn the favor of the Daedric prince Hermaeus Mora. Start by making your way towards solitude as your story begins at a mysterious shack overlooking the Sea of Ghosts called the Derelict Shanty. Upon entering the shack, you'll quickly make notice of the unique level design as you discover there's something more to this place. Make your way downwards into a grotto and into this room to answer the summons of the Lord Hermaeus Mora. I'm not easily startled, but what happened next really came out of nowhere. Alright, let's see here. Oh my god! Holy shit, dude.
I had hoped a worthy instrument might present itself.
Through some amazing voice acting and storytelling, and I mean amazing, Hermaeus Mora explains that its rogue acolyte Tsatampra Xiros has populated his chronicle in his tale with distorted visions of himself in a surreal world.
My erstwhile acolyte has hidden something from my gaze within this fallen, conceited wretch.
As you agree to navigate through the pages of Tampra's obscurity to put him to justice, you'll make your way into this world where you'll face his fellow acolytes and the other dangerous creatures. At first I thought I'd become unstoppable as I slashed through these enemies, but yet again I quickly realized I was playing with God mode on. And by turning it off, I came to the realization of how strong these people are, so you better be prepared. Now as you explore and loot through these houses, you'll see a lot of scrolls, spell tomes and ruined books. Make sure to grab the ruined books as they'll come in handy later. There will also be these manuscripts from Tsatampra's tale you'll need to collect. As I mentioned earlier, the level design here is truly at a top tier level, with this eerie vibe where you'll feel like anything might pop up at any moment, which does happen as you'll face this powerful boss arising from the deep. It's strong but not so fast, so I recommend to keep your distance and spam it with bolts. The next passage is accessed after you've collected all the manuscripts. Here there will be a lot of goodies to loot. The mod authors managed to truly create a world here that immerses the player into Tsatampra's madness, as you'll see some really weird shit. At the end, you'll finally find Tsatampra Xiros in a state of pure madness, uttering nonsense.
Hide for its new arrival. No. Something else. I must go over here. Yes, there. Higher. Third shelf up.
It is then up to you to fulfill Hermaeus Mora wishes and put an end to him. Moral of the story, guys, don't be a greedy son of a bitch. Hermaeus Mora will have some more stuff for you after this.
As for you, Dragon, you have proven a valuable asset. Serve me further by restoring a semblance of dignity to my annals.
So it is now up to you to restore his annals with the help of the antiquarian. This is where all the ruined books will come in handy.
On your travels, should you chance upon volumes in bad repair or parchment, these things may be applied to my efforts.
From this point on, you'll have to earn the favor of the Daedric Prince and complete the quest to gain custodianship of his annals, and unique player home with a variety of features, including one of those nice gravitational elevator thingies with 3 floors that'll provide you with all the necessities of crafting stations, as well as a nice little bedroom. Also, restoring the annals to their former glory will slowly give you access to make use of features like spawning in various types of creatures you can make use of. I'll leave the rest for you to find out, as I highly recommend you give this mod a go. The storytelling, voice acting, level design, it's truly one of the most magnificent mods I've seen in a while. And that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to endorse the mods on Nexus if you decide to try them out, give the video a nice like, and make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell for more content. Also, I've just set up a Discord server called Gim's Inn of Immersion, which I'll link down below. This will be a place for us like-minded people to interact and help one another as a community and talk about mods. I'm very excited about this. With that, this has been Gim. May your road lead you to warm sands, everybody. See ya.